Yes, y'all. Yes, y'all. I'm old school, but I keep it funky fresh, y'all. And this is me, y'all. I'm from the deep, y'all. And what you get is what you motherfucking see.
Welcome back, humans! You know what day it is. My name is Jaime, giving you exclusive Vince on headlines that you didn't even know you needed. And humans, my goodness. Did you happen to hear or see with your own poor eyes and ears the R&B Versus? Oh my goodness, humans. First of all, what did I watch? That's the one question. I'm an R&B fan. I love me some R&B music. You know what I'm saying? Like old school shit too. And I don't know what the hell I just saw the other day. I was excited because it was like Omarion and they like verse Mario. Like they're gonna bring their shit out and they're like, oh shit. You know, it makes me want to start fucking get ready to start dancing and shit, right? Fucking, you know, it's like, what am I gonna do? You know, put it on surround sound. First of all, the audio mix was bullshit. And I got a question before I start talking about that. Before I start going on that, and I'm not gonna show no, I'm not gonna like show the video. I'm gonna look at it, but I'm not gonna fucking get no copyright because these dudes are extra sensitive from this shit. Like, they're like extra touchy on this subject right now, so they're going after everybody going on trashing them. But out of all of them that was there, Mario was actually hitting notes right, kind of singing. I mean, just the mix was just really bad. But I know I said I was gonna wait on that, but here comes my question: did R&B just die? Because good lord, I mean, they tried to bring back these dudes, and then you know like why they brought auto-tune into the studio. When you see fucking Omarion, who was like, you know, like Britney Spears type shit, like you got to go in the studio and all he could do was all the fucking badass dance moves, which are sweet, you know, all the group dance moves, blah blah blah. And goodness gracious, like I know like when you got money, like it helps you when you're ugly, like to get like booty and stuff, like to get whatever way you form of you get it, like you when you're ugly or not as fortunate looking, like when you're good, you know, like a lot of most famous people that might not be always can get women like nothing because they're famous, right? But I don't think the money like would help you sing any better. It'd probably help you get a significant other or one night stand of whoever you need or whatever you need to do, right? But I don't think it's going to make you sing any better. Like this dude even brought out dancers like to come out to do the verses. Like, come on, man, it's not a dance verses, it's a singing verses. And this dude sounded really bad. It sounded like fucking like wild animals, like getting murdered by something. Like not poachers, like it was something slow. Like I don't know if it was like hyenas eating them or like some new silent fucking, you know, predator out in the fucking wild. But it was just like fucking fucked up. Or remember that one goat, like when you see him at the farm and they always put it in videos and he's just like, ah, like that dude. That was just, it seemed like, it's crazy, man. It sounded bad. Remember that kid? It sounded like that TikTok cat sound. Like when that fucking shit's on all them videos when it's supposed to be like a scary video, like, bow, bow, bow. That's what that fucking shit sounded when the Omarion was singing this shit. And then fucking like Ray J came out of nowhere. Like who the fuck invited Ray J, first of all? And then he had a fucking baby on stage and all these people out there fucking drinking and partying and he's got a baby at the club. He's got the baby at the club at Versus and shit. It didn't look like a family venue. That's all I'm saying. I mean, sure, you're probably a responsible parent, but that didn't look like a family venue. So he's got him on stage like he's a fucking like, you know, a new fucking stylish Vuitton bag or something. He's carrying his kid up here on his shoulder and shit. And he just starts trying to sing. And it sounded like he was just yelling at everybody, too. He was singing horrible. Like, Brandy would be embarrassed. Like, Brandy should have been pissed. Like, y'all are related. And she's like Brandy. You know, and you came out there like, I'm Ray J. You know, I made Kardashian famous. But it wasn't for your... Man, you used to have songs that were cool and shit. And, like, you got exposed. Like, you came out there and was like, nah! You were just, like, yelling at everybody. It was wild. I don't even know what song you were singing because I was too busy, like, I was distracting myself during the audio. Like, when you started yelling and shit, like, wah, 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 wah. And I'm like, what the fuck did just happen here? Y'all was tagging teaming and, like, fucking having people jump in on your verses. And you brought in somebody that could sing worse. It was just weird. It was just really weird, man. And I'm no singer myself. You heard my voice just crack as it is. Like I said, people used to make me do it in bands and shit, and it didn't work. Like, I need to back up really bad. I would, like, just mid-sing. Like I said, there's some shit on my playlist. Like, I don't think the singing ones are on there, but there's some singing shit out there somewhere. And it was bad. And I would, like, just mid-singing, like, I'm just start screaming, like, like, fuck it, because it ain't going to happen. And they would always be talking after the song, like, dude, I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to do it. But these guys, man, I swear, like I said, it fucking sound like that poor cat in those TikTok videos. And then the dude come out and started eating fucking watermelon on stage in order to, like, be sexy and seductive, like, towards the women out there or something. So he's eating this fucking piece of watermelon. The watermelon didn't even make him sing better. You know, I thought lemon was supposed to be good for the throat in, like, teas and shit, right? But this dude fucking brought out fucking watermelon that's super acidic. You know, so is fucking lemon or whatever the fuck. And he fucking just sitting there just eating it. Like, aren't you supposed to be singing lyrics right about now? And, like, how do women out there, knowing these dudes just saying so horrible, like, still are turned on by these dudes just because of, like, who they are? They were still cheering for the dude. I don't know. I just don't know how that happens. Because he was just like, wow. And then he would, like, eat some watermelon, and the girls was like, yeah, you know, and I was like, no way, you know, like, R&B died. I think it's crazy. I was just really, really confused when I watched that shit. It was really confusing, humans. It was just really confusing. Bro, I'm just saying. It was like when he started singing and shit, like the Mario, then he sat on the ground and was doing all this, like said, trying to be all like, you know, because he could dance, that's for sure, but he just couldn't sing it anymore. Or if he could be then, or the studio didn't help his ass. Same with Ray J, like, good Lord. But Marion's on the ground doing all this, like, a grinding shit, like, you know, he got the microphone going. and it sounded like the worst singing ever. It was like if like the worst diarrhea someone can ever have is a person, like, that's what that fucking singing sounded like. I mean, come on, like, it was bad. It was so fucking bad. And I still, like I said, all them women out there just still cheering just because of who it was and not because of what that horrible shit he was doing. She's like, oh no, it'll be over soon. You know what I'm saying? Then he can still be cute and rich. And I was like, dang, man. That was bad. He probably ain't going to be rich too much longer now because he better hold on to some money because he ain't going to get booked after seeing that shit. I mean, damn. And then, like, you know, people from, like, farm, like, I don't know. That's crazy, man. He's just going to eat watermelon on stage. You're going to pay him to eat watermelon on stage and try to be sexy to women without singing, unless you're going to let him lip sync, because they should have let him lip sync. And then he just dancing would have been, like, that much more important. But goodness gracious, that was a really bad versus. It was a really bad versus. You got to have a redemption versus for the R&B singers. Like, you took a bad choice for the ones to choose. You just chose a bad group this time. You know, when you pick them, like, when you pick the next verses, like, and they're going to be in, like, do another R&B one. We got to have the get back. You got to get the fucking redo, right? You got to go back and they're like, oh, these would be good choices, right? They are good choices on paper first, okay? Everything usually is good on paper first. But they don't do that show anymore on TV, which could have gave you the fucking heads up. The fucking where are they now? You know, let's fucking find out where they are now before you're like, oh shit, let's get Cisco. You know, and like one of them became a fucking terrorist. The other dude's in fucking porn. And who knows what the other fucking guy's doing. He's fucking back on the street selling drugs or some shit. Nobody knows. I mean, I made those scenarios up, humans, but it was just for my entertainment value because I'm just bringing up a hypothetical scenario to make my story continue. But you should do a background check before you're like, oh, this is it. You know, just call him right now. I got a speed dial. You know, I got him on my phone. You know, if you got him on your phone, he's probably not already that good. He's probably not as famous as he was anymore. Like, goodness gracious. Like, we got to do the where are they now check before you just bring him out here and just start putting him out there in a microphone in front of people. You know, fruit could get damaged. People could get hurt. People could get offended. Like, that scene could have offended people in there. We don't even know yet. The media is still determined. It's still determined on that one. But I believe they need to do another one, but just with better singers that are prepared. Not only are they good singer names that we all know, but make sure they're prepared. You know, obviously some of the choices that we saw at the NBA Finals to sing the national anthem probably weren't their first choices. They probably had some celebrities picked from the towns they're from. But when they were like, they didn't do the Where Are They Now when they were doing practice shit, and they came out there and they were like, whoa, you know, all this shit like that. Or they called that Neville guy out there, and he just took too long to just get the first word out when he was like, oh, say, you know, fucking just kept too fucking long. And then they were like, oh, we just got to get a local person. They'll just get through it because they'll be nervous, you know. And they get people we don't really know, but they're probably, you know, professional singers or whatnot. But they're people we don't usually know. So they usually get the fuck in there and out. That's what happened in the NBA Finals. They did the checks, or they had a practice round. They did one or the other. Like, that one that we saw on the recent one should have been the practice round that you saw first, and you shouldn't let it out. Or you should have did some clips of, like, shit that didn't make the show, you know, and we would have understood. We would have understood. Because, goodness gracious. I don't know. I mean, if y'all still enjoyed it, ladies, I understand. Because of the people who they are. But, man, that was pretty bad. I feel bad for Mario, because, like, he was actually singing pretty good, but it's just the mix was all shitty. And he was the only one that was actually hitting shit right in some of them times in there. That sounded bad. You know, it was wild. It was just wild, and it was entertaining at the same time, because I was like, good Lord. I was like, good Lord. Yeah, my man got a baby on the stage, you know? Sheesh. But, back to our prez. You know, what the fuck, man? I was going to leave him alone for like a minute. I had like other shit to talk about, but fucking A, man, like, I just can't. I got to, you know, look what happens when I can't even get the shit out. Like, because the dude, like, frustrates me sometimes because it's like just so much things you want to say. And then you got to be careful because I already get warnings talking about him already. You know, where's that cat sound again? You know? But anyways, a fucking prez just got caught lying again. And I don't mean lying down on the ground from falling again. But he probably will fall pretty soon again. But the dude got caught lying, talking about, oh, I don't talk to my son about his, you know, shady business deals, you know, just China deals or whatever the fuck. He says he don't talk to him about the shit, but then a fucking voicemail comes out about with him calling his son and leaving his son an actual voicemail. Like, what the fuck is going on, humans? If what the fuck was a person, no, but this dude, just the voicemail came. I ain't gonna play that either because he fucking copyright people. I almost said some wrong names. Like, I almost just went off and probably would have got copyrighted on the name. They were being shady. But anyway, I'm not going to play the clip of the call till more people do it and see if they get copyrighted. And then I'll do it. But right now, I mean, he just calls his kids like, and he was just rambling on. And he's like, I spoke out, you know, the New York Times article is going to be great. It's a good one. You're in the clear. So he told his kid, you're like, in the clear. In the clear of what? Mr. Biden, if you don't even know about his shady deals, in the clear of what? The, you know, super expensive, you know, 30 grand escorts? Good Lord, that's a lot of money. And especially if you're using like crack and shit, you could probably get cheaper stuff. Why, if you're smoking crack and you probably find, you know, I don't know, man. But I don't got that fucking government money and, you know, that big allowance you was getting. Either way, that's crazy. The voicemail came out and he was just like, what is he going to say next? Because you know people are going to ask about it, and they're not going to let him answer no questions after this shit. Like, Joe, what about the voicemail? What about the voicemail? You know? He's going to be like, our economy is number one. That's why the gas is going up again. You know? He said he's in the clear. Like, he just looked in our faces and, like, squinted, and he was just like, you know, I don't want to, I'm tired of the media lies and all that shit, right? Man, he just looked at us and just lied to our faces so many times. Like, oh no, what are you talking about? Politicians lying? They don't do that shit, do they? I know, I'm fucking around. They all fucking lie, but this dude just got caught like, I mean, this is the digital times, you know? There ain't shit. You got to be careful if you're in the limelight and you just fart wrong. You know what I mean? If you fart wrong, like you can fart, but if you fart wrong, it's going to be the wrong fart that gets your ass in trouble. It'll be the wrong fart at the wrong time, you know? Even if it ain't a fart, whatever it is, wrong shit. But I think it's also weird how the media is playing their little games because they're all entangled with these people now. Obviously, because you heard the president talk to his kid saying He told the media that it's all good. This article's coming out. It's going to be a good one. This one's a good one during the Clair. So you'll be distracted. They'll probably hide this one now that we know about the fashion section. Now they're going to hide this one somewhere else in science. Because we'll be too busy waiting for Fauci to come out and tell us what to fucking do. Or Bill fucking Gates. With his farm buying ass. We still got to watch out for that, humans. But I also think it's weird when they play their little media games, right? Because we heard about all that January 6th stuff, and then you see these like videos of like people being let in, not breaking in, being let in. Then you see people like shaking a door and then trying to get in. And you see all these two sides of everything. Like I said, this media tug of war. You don't even know which way to fucking go. It's like that old school shit. That old pictures you see in those old, tortured things. Like what they used to do back in the day. Like it looked like they used to have people on 2 horse wagons or whatever. And they like try to pull somebody apart or something. And I don't know if they really did, but I just like, it just appears that that's what happens. This old school shit is what the media is doing to us. They're just like, I don't know which way to go. I don't know which way to fucking go, right? It's bananas how this media does this shit. And they get away with it every fucking day. I just don't get it how they play. So they're going to bring up this January 6th stuff right around at the getting time where, you're going to have to, vote for some new president for our country. And they're doing everything they can to make sure it's not going to be Trump. I think that's crazy. Like I said, I'm not even like a fan of that guy. Like it was better than what's going on now. And I will admit to that. I even made fun of him on earlier episodes, with the accordion, or he was telling you the shape of his wife's body and all that shit like that. I was making fun of both of these dudes. But this guy now is just like too much content. He was like random shit every time they put him, you know what I mean? And, but then when it was like the same shit, you didn't just, go out there and talk about it all the time. This dude's like something new, like all the fucking time. So they're bringing up this January 6th shit, like right around the time, just a smear, knock one person right out of the box. Like, how convenient. Like, real quick, let's just fucking try to get this guy, maybe we can get him in jail. Maybe we can get him where he can't run for president and all this shit like that. And they can't fix this stuff. Because apparently, the people that are in charge now are happy with, like, what's happening in our situations over here at home as us humans. Like, they think this is the back better thing or build back better thing. Like, this is supposedly better than us paying less for the stuff and having more money for us. This is supposed to be, like better. And like I said, I'm not saying the dude is the answer again or whatever. But hopefully somebody else wants to just flip this shit and know that this is not right. And if you're going to come in here and try to do something wrong, you are going to lose. And something else, it's going to be some weirdo that's just not going to do what you guys want. And it's going to be a lot of weird fiascos going on. And I'm expecting a lot of weird shenanigans to go on during this shit too. It's like a weird circus coming up again, humans. Another fucking weird circus. Let's get ready. Who's going to be the ringleader? You're going to be like, step right up. Step right up, humans, and jump right in. There's plenty of room in this pool of bullshit. Because it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy, and, like, be prepared. Like, expect the weirdest stuff possible to be coming out as far as, like, dirt on these, like, on everybody that they want to go against them. Because I believe that's what's coming. They're going to just smash on them. And whoever it is, like, you just are at, there's no chance. You got no chance. And speaking of no chance, I believe us as humans out here, we have no chance ever. At least I'm not sure, but I hope we get a chance. But I almost feel like we're never going to get a chance to find out the truth, on these clients that went to this island over there with Epstein and them guys, because you hear that, what's her name? Ghislaine Maxwell got sentenced for like 20 years. And then they start, sentenced R. Kelly for like 30 years. And the Epstein guy died, supposedly killed himself or didn't. Who knows? Cameras weren't working. So did some other associate happen. Cameras weren't working. So it's really strange to me that I wonder if we're ever going to find out who was these clients. Like, so we got these people in our faces and in the media, right? Who are the clients? And that's what I mean, humans. Like, who are the clients? And with them talking about this January 6th stuff, I believe, like I said, when I got the circuits going on, this is the next great distraction. This is the great distraction attraction. They're coming, to distract us, tell talk about this Trump and this riot at our state capitol, and all these people, all the old people are going to follow the shit. And I'm like, that's right. They are evil. That's what happened. I believe it now. And they're just going to fucking believe that shit and go back to watching Matlock. And we're going to be the ones that are fucking, paying the price on this shit. But will we ever find out who these clients are? Like, it's bananas. Are they that powerful that we just never will find out? Yikes. Like, is it still going on? That's another question. Could it be? We got to watch our children out there, because there's a lot of questions to be asked when you think about it. Just 2 people get knocked off. What do they call it? Like cutting off the head of the dragons or whatever. And then just fucking, they say more pop grow back, right? This is weird, humans, that nobody wants to talk about that. The media's just like zipped up. So then the media can't talk bad about our president either on a certain side of the media, and you see who they're, working for. And yet the media can't talk about clients, and it's the same media that, looks like they're working for, our government and stuff. So could it be that some of those clients might be in those positions? And that's why they're not allowed to, talk about it and put it out into the media? I don't know, humans, but it's something to pay attention about, and I don't think we should let this stuff slip, because all these distractions are shoved in our face daily. Like I said before in many episodes before, this spin generation has just got us going bonkers. And what will be the next distraction after this January 6th stuff? Because the election's coming up. What other dirt are they going to spill out in this media? Like, what other celebrities going to be at their detriment? Or what other what other disaster are going to be happening just for them to fucking not talk about what's really going on? And that's what we need to watch out for, humans. I hope you all enjoyed this episode, and if you did, I'd appreciate it if you would smash that like button, hit that subscription, turn on those notifications, because I'm here twice a week. My name is Jaime. This has been another episode of Meant to Vent. Till next time, humans. See ya.
Oh, yes, yes.